Manchester United. Finally.
Guys,
I don't want to say anything.
Had to do it.
I didn't want to say anything, but they're tied for first.
They are.
They're tied for first, but Man City would probably overtake them because Man City's behind 2 games.
Didn't want to mention it.
But did we see Manchester United in this predicament? Manchester City just won, so they won today, so they're above us.
Right.
But did we see Manchester United being where they are right now?
We very much haven't in quite a long time.
Quite a long time. And I don't want to mention
a few coaches after.
And I don't want to mention names. I don't want to mention names.
Got you.
The last coach was
somebody's trashing somebody.
The great Sir Alex Ferguson.
Wow.
To keep Man U at the top, right?
Yep.
I don't know how long they're going to stay here.
Very true.
But we haven't seen Man U in this position for quite some time.
You're 100% right.
And this is after speculation that Ole was going to get fired.
Indeed. Well, he didn't start off too good this season, bro.
He did not. Correct.
Also, he asked for certain players that they were not panning out. They were in desperate need of an actual scorer that they thankfully got now with the great and the wonderful Edinson Cavani. You know, shout out to Edinson Cavani.
Yeah, but do you know who the, and I said this in the first podcast, I think, Bruno Fernandes. Major playmaker, bro. Can we confirm or deny?
Now we can. Before
now we can.
When he had played 15
games. I was right. So I was right in the first game.
No,
I was right in the first episode because I didn't listen.
I'm listening.
I said he's a quality signing that Manchester United needed, and he's showing it right now. Thank you.
Fair point. Right in this very fucking second 2021, that's a fair point. Now, here's my problem, or what was my problem before was
Manchester United second, but still, they're in the battle for number one.
But they're right there in the fight.
There.
That's what matters.
Exactly.
Because they weren't for the longest time.
Right.
And the thing is that what I said about Bruno Fernandes, and we can pull up the vid if you want me to, all I said is like, bro, you're selling the sheep's skin before killing the sheep. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
Or the bear, I said.
But
because we hadn't seen him as much, and coming from Portugal to adjust to the Premier League in England, it's tough, So I just said, let's see how he pans out. The guy has great qualities. He showed in Portugal that he can be a top player. Let's see what he does. And now, with more time and a bunch of games under his belt, we can see that the guy is actually good. Let's see if he can keep consistency, throughout the entire season.
He's been pretty consistent, I'm not going to lie.
He's doing well. He's been given a lot of trust by Ole Gunnar. And we'll see what happens. It feels though, because I just saw the highlights, I didn't see, but they are like playing more cohesive now.
Yeah.
Because they have a bunch of young players. They had some players that were fully in, like Pogba. They needed a striker. Cavani definitely makes a difference up front. Now you can clearly feel how the other ones can play a little bit more joyful and relaxed because they have a killer, a guy with a record.
Yeah. Who's proven himself. To be, and he's, exactly.
Anywhere he's been, he's given a great performance overall, and he's scored goals.
Right.
That's what you ask on a striker. Not like fucking Martial or Rashford, that they are supposed to be good and their first season ever is 15 goals. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not a top scorer for a top team. Cavani, he's scored a bunch of goals, being top scorer in Italy. Capo Cagnoneri, if I remember right. He's done it in France. He's done it with Palermo, with a smaller team, scoring a bunch of goals. So he's, of course, with Uruguay for like over 10 years. So he has a record, and he is definitely a top. Like he's 33. That's the only thing. 32, 33.
Right. He's a little bit past his prime.
But he's a very, very strong physical player. Like he takes great care of his body. He's very thin,
and that's why
thin and trimmed, like he was at first. So.
And I mean, I'm not comparing the two, but a physical striker, makes a huge difference. And my favorite player of all time, Wayne Rooney, huge physical striker back in the day, a monster,
gifted, physically gifted.
Yes.
When he was 16 years old, he was making bounce over defenders, bro.
And he would go back and forth.
With
and he would move around the field like no one's business.
Because he had a lot of stamina. Also, he's 16 years old. He's a stallion, bro.
Exactly.
But with 16, he was already like a man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's also a point on why his career dwindled the way it did. Because, when he reached 28, 29, that could be still the prime for a bunch of soccer players. However, he had been at top level since he was 16. Therefore, the physical tone
non-stop,
really had a toll on him because you could feel that the guy was on the decline physically. And
Right.
that's why he had to leave Manchester, go back
Right.
to Everton, and then eventually move into the MLS, and then coming back to what is that now?
Derby County.
Derby County?
He is the head coach there now.
Oh, because he retired and then he joined.
He was a player manager, then he became the head coach.
If there is something I love about fucking soccer,
Why?
is when
Players automatically retire and they
No.
become head coaches.
not even that. I love even that's true, but I love even more when they are still players and they
they're
are
managers.
managers as well.
Ryan Giggs was the last one. That was amazing to me.
But that's so funny. Like, think about it. All right. So okay,
You guys
so,
suck. I'm gonna go subs to myself.
I
It's
always
hilarious.
think this.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
my favorite thing. Like, if I were
Right.
that guy, how do you not put yourself?
Right.
And how did you justify that you're putting yourself on the lineup? How did you justify? Okay, the guy who's
Experience.
your backup.
You can sell your experience, right?
Yeah, but the guy who's your backup is a young stud that really wants to make it.
It is-
Or
it
you're
is
Ryan
ki-
Giggs,
it is
and
kinda
you are like,
funny.
okay, Cristiano, I'm gonna sit you down, okay, because I really need because this game needs experience.
It is kinda
They don't
funny.
need the extra gear that you have that can pretty much dribble
Yeah.
any guy that
You-
puts it.
you
No,
don't
you
have
wanna just chill. On
You don't have the
bench.
knowledge in the 74th minute like I've had in the past. So I'm gonna put myself on and get tired after 20 minutes, or sorry, after 10 minutes
and
playing,
then-
and
I may or may not
it may or may not make a difference.
bring you in,
Bring you in.
but it's so good what they do.
Right.
There.
I mean, it would be fitting for Rooney to coach Man U maybe someday in the future.
I think so. But
Right.
remember that coaching is a very motherfucking difficult business. And we
Right.
see it, we see it.
Right.
Bro, 2 weeks ago, what happened with Chelsea? The prodigal son, the true
Frank
blue guy.
Motherfucking Lampard. Yeah. Booted. Fucking booted.
And it's not like he could argue that he didn't get,
I mean, Chelsea.
the players he wanted.
Chelsea, in eighth, yeah, they're in 8th place.
Yeah, well, bro, but they invested, they gave him whatever he wanted.
They did.
Oh, you guys just paid 82 billion euros for a goalkeeper last season. Kepa Arrizabalaga. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want a new one because I don't like this guy. Boom. 40-something. Mendy, the French goalkeeper. No
Right.
problem. Okay, well, we're going to give you Kai Havertz, 70 million. Arguably the most promising German player out there. They brought it over to him. He has younger, older. He had an excellent team.
Yeah.
Anything he wanted that was
Anything you want him.
available.
Right. And they signed the ex PSG coach.
Yeah, it's German, the Tuchel.
Tuchel.
And because they needed someone, and that
You
one
need
was available
someone.
because he got
That's a-
sacked too.
That's the thing,
some
man.
weeks ago.
Especially in soccer. Heck, I mean, this is the case for a lot of head coaches, but mainly soccer.
Yeah,
If you don't prove, you're as good as your last game.
100%.
Doesn't no matter by history to the club or your accolades before that, you're only as good as your last game, and that's pretty much it.
100% true.
So I feel like Ole for a while in the beginning of the season was walking on eggshells with Manchester United. You know,
Makes sense. I don't think they think too much about that, but yeah, of course, the pressure.
it's a lot of pressure.
It comes from that.
It's
From
a lot
that
of
mindset.
pressure, right? Exactly.
Because they are like, oh, you were this player, now you were,
Right.
we want results because you don't have a lot of experience, and we're giving you the top dog seat, so
Yeah.
you better deliver, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And
You have to deliver. There's no way. And
But then it's important to make a remark on the fact that some clubs are more lenient with that than others.
of course,
Like Manchester United, bro, they've held coaches when they clearly should have been fired a while ago. Like Van Gaal should have been fired way
Wait
before
a minute,
he was.
man. Wait a minute.
You don't think so? I'm not talking about Ferguson because he delivered.
Wait.
I'm talking about.
Ferguson? Yeah, I mean Ferguson.
But I'm talking about Van
off the
Gaal.
top.
How is it that Van Gaal stayed for as long as he did? He should have been sacked when he was clearly not working as a coach. How about Mourinho, bro? It was evident that Mourinho didn't mingle well with the
Mourinho?
entire.
Yes, I agree. Only in
And do
Mourinho.
you think he was kept for too long?
Mourinho did. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But then there are other clubs that they don't take, like PSG.
Yeah.
They are loaded. They bring a coach. They give him everything they want.
Yeah, but PSG, man, anyone can coach PSG and they'd win the league. That league has no competition in that league.
Very true.
100%. There's no competition. PSG's what been the running champion for what
8-9 years.
8-9 years
straight.
Yeah.
My point is that there are clubs.
Yes, that are more
Liverpool. Another
I mean,
club that
bro,
when-
they just won the Champions League, bro.
yeah, but but the point is that when they
yeah.
deposit trust in a coach,
Yeah.
they grab onto him real tight, and they will keep him even though he's not showing results just
Right,
yet
right, I get
because
what
they
you're saying.
believe in a project. There are clubs that are more project oriented,
Then
and there are
clubs that just want results right there. Exactly.
because they have the money. We have the fans, we have the popularity.
Of course.
And that's sometimes a trap that really affects certain clubs. And I think Manchester United, it's been ever since Ferguson, Cristiano, ever since the last
Ever since Ferguson
generation,
left.
yeah,
Ever since
last
Ferguson
generation
left.
kind of like came to an end. Ever since then, they've been struggling with this idea. We are Manchester United, the wealthiest team up there with Real Madrid, up and down, back and forth on the first place.
Right.
Of
It's just
wealthiest.
it's
So
a lot
we
of
need results
pressure.
now. We need the Champions League. We need another league.
Right.
And
It's a lot of pressure. It is.
soccer is not. We've talked about this before. It's perhaps the most difficult sport to me in terms of winning championships at the highest level. You
Right.
know, because not having the draft and having the American system that promotes recycling of franchises
you-
and having people up one day and then the ones that were in the
Like-
bottom potentially being up
Right.
some years from that moment and so forth. You don't have that in soccer,
But
but
you-
you still have the highest exigence and level
Right.
of performance. So it's very tough.
Yeah, it is tough. Yeah, 100%.
But anyway.
But
so
anyway,
congrats. Okay.
I mean, we didn't win anything, but I'm just saying, I'm very confident now. Do you think that Manchester United is going to win the Premier League?
So, I think they are candidates because we are past half of
Obviously.
season and
Yeah.
they're up there.
Uh huh.
We see when the games toward the end
How
come,
yeah.
how they manage.
How many manage.
All those young guys, are they going to
Right.
like put the balls on the table and
Fucking
play
see. They
and play a
better.
solid game,
They
or
better.
they're going to have the knees tiki shaking, and they're not going to do good performances. That's where the key is going to be. I also haven't seen the calendar. Sometimes the calendar is a huge factor.
It
I
is,
don't
yeah,
know
all
if
the
they have
matches.
in the last 5/10s, if they have a lot of direct.
Oh yeah, we're in the Euro Cup now.
Encounters.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, also because it's fatigue that also plays
Of
a role.
course. No, I'm saying, but
But-
it does. They could play a match on Thursday and then have a match Sunday 3 days
Right.
later, which is fucking
exactly.
It's a
So
little.
it's not
It
it's the
is.
same if you have Liverpool
It is exhausting.
up and coming than if
Right.
you have Ipswich Town, right?
Right.
To all respects to Ipswich Town people, but and fans, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
And that may play a role. But again, at the end of the day, is the solid performance of the players when the games that give you that chance to really be up there happen, and that's
Right.
towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that they are not in Champions League anymore because they have less exigence on that European arena. Because let's be honest, who cares about the Europa League?
No, I'm not saying that
No
many
one,
people do, but
hey,
you know,
Atletico Madrid won it 2 years ago, and it's
Mourinho
all
won
good.
it.
He did as well. Not the point, though. The point is that if you don't win it, it's not like the end of the world.
exactly.
It's not a.
We won a Premier League championship because we haven't seen one since Ferguson, and
And it's very difficult to win.
I don't want to jinx anything, but I think
Do you know what I think also? That I don't see a clear alternative. That's why I also think they have chances. So it's not like Manchester City is like rampaging over the
they're
standings.
not.
You know what I
No,
mean?
no, yeah.
Liverpool
There's
is
no-
also in a tough
There's
moment.
no clear cut
Exactly.
winner.
Top contender.
Top contender, exactly.
That's the deal. That's why I'm saying that adds on to the fact that they're in a good position by this time of the
Right.
season. That there is also not a clear contender.
Also
that we were
coming
second
after
down in.
what? Coming off a 9-0 win against Southampton.
Right, but we've talked about this. Okay, they got 2 red cards almost right off the bat, and it's a team that has I don't even know that much about Southampton, but I didn't see a lot of experimented players in it.
9-0. 9-0.
That's quite a beat up.
And if a team has 2 red cards, you better win 9-0.
Well, you better score a bunch of goals.
You better score a bunch of goals. Exactly. Yeah.
You're right. But again, they also played very well. Like they were
did.
like pa 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 pa, really smashing those fuckers. So,
Cohesiveness, man. That's it.
so it's we'll see. Again, we'll see towards the end of the season, but I look forward to it. Okay, hopefully you can continue to brag. We'll see.
I will continue to brag, dude.
Yeah, brr.
Because I haven't had this moment in a while.
You enjoy it, taste it, savor it.
I will.
Want to pull
Guys,
rank.
thank you for watching Tito and the Greek podcast. Subscribe, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, iTunes.
All platforms.
All
please.
platforms except for TikTok and Twitch because we don't like those, like we talked about.
Just yet,
No TikTok, like we talked about.
we did.
What